Good morning, YouTube, and welcome back to Jesse's Garage. We're excited to have you once again, as always. So we're always happy to have you join the channel and kind of watch what we have found and some of the things that we're up to. So today, actually, we went and did a few estate sales yesterday, and I kind of felt like I struck out a little bit. So we don't always win. And so remember that a couple videos ago, I told you I was going to give you a couple examples of when we don't win. Well, today probably is that day. A couple of pickups and kind of give you a lesson on keeping your eye open and make sure you're getting what you think you're getting. So let's jump into it and let me show you what we have. It's all kinds of different pieces, and so it's just a variety, just a mix that way. All right, let's go ahead and jump on in. The very first box that we have is this gray and black box that we have here, and it has this blue and gray logo on it, and you'll notice that it's an old Craftsman logo there, and so, man, look how nice that is. It's just in really good condition. Now you also are noticing, man, what did you pay $25 for? Well, when I Googled this, and so one of the things that I found was that these things are going for $35 to $50, and they are also charging shipping. But what it is, they're drill bits, and so when I open it up, you'll look at here, and it's a tapping index that you can see. And I wanted to point out something. Look how pristine that is. And so, man, there is no missing paint or anything there, and it's all raised. Feels like it has a really nice texture to it. But also what's impressive is that not only that, but when we flip this down, you can see all of the bits are there. And then when we flip it down again, look at this. Man, it's just pristine. So that's there. And all of the bits are there. And then as we go down, you can see this is pristine. And all of the bits are there as well. And so how beautiful is that? Where do you find that? And incidentally, when I told you it was $35, $50 on up, these things are actually, those boxes, that box for $35 didn't have any bits whatsoever. And I checked all the bits on here, and they're all matching. Everything is matching all the way from the largest to the very smallest size on here. And so, my goodness, when I seen that, I thought, wow, how beautiful is that you can find this type of indexing with all of the bits for old Craftsman logo that way. So did I pony up a little bit? Yeah, I did. But my goodness, where are you going to find that? And so for me, I thought it was a great find, especially with the old Crown logo. So there's one. So I feel like, man, that was a winner. So I'm going to put that just right here, right on the corner here. So that's one scenario that we have. We stopped by a different one. This guy had some old Craftsman wrenches there. So whenever I can pick these up, and they are in pretty good condition. Notice it's the flying V, the double line V that's there. And so this one just needs to be cleaned up, and man, I think it's ready to go in the box there. Now, part of the reason why I kind of picked these up a little bit is because remember that a few videos back I found that box, that the $2 Craftsman box that was missing the breaker bar. And so sometimes these things belong to a set. So one of these days, my hopes are up. I'm going to find me a box that these things are going to go in. So a couple, or actually three different double open end wrenches. This one's 3/4 inch on this side over to 7/8 on this side. And so that makes it pretty nice. So there's that. This one here is 5/8. And this one here is 3/4 on this side. So I already have some of these. But I don't know if I have this size, so I'll put those in my drawer, and if I am missing some pieces, well, voila. So there's some more Craftsman that's there, old Flying V, and so we're going to put that just right there. You like the way I lined it up, by the way? So there's that. They were $1 a piece, and so that's what I got them for. Then from there, back at this sale right over here, this is an old Exite. Now, I know probably nobody collects these hardly, but the reason why I collect them is because, as you can see here, see if I can get a little bit better light on here, but they're made in New York, so it's an old screwdriver brand. And so I don't even know if they're still around or not. But anyways, I have all kinds of different Exites, but this one here, pulls out, and you can switch it around from Phillips head to flathead, and to go through and do that. And I think by the time I kind of wipe these down and kind of clean these up a little bit, man, I got a nice little pair here of adjustable, switchable screwdrivers here. So I love that. Man, I think those are killer. And so I think that was a pretty good little add on to my collection that way. Now, remember I told you that sometimes you don't always win? Well, notice this one here. I was one of the very first guys in the garage. There was another gentleman that was with me, that was there as well, and he was in the garage as well. So I picked this up because, you know, as you can tell, it probably is an old SK box, right? Now, this SK box is kind of misaligned a little bit, but I figured, wow, man, I can fix that. I think I can tap this down and kind of push it over just a little bit. But let me see what's inside. So I opened it up and I thought, wow, look at that. An old SK. It looks really good inside. So SK tools. And so when we look at this, it looks like it might be missing one socket. And so probably, let's see what the largest one that it goes up to. This is, looks like probably, if I can see that correctly, and let's see if you can see it better in the camera than I can. So I can't quite tell, but I'm thinking it's 3/8. And so that might be what it is there. So it's probably needing the 1/2 inch or so that goes into that that next area there, or 7/16 that goes into that next area. So I'm pretty sure that says 3/8. Let me see what this one says real quick. And so this one here is 5/16. So probably that 7/16 or 1/2 inch would be the next jump up for that. But the reason why I say that is because notice we got the little extension that says SK. So all USA, so that is pretty nice. Notice we got the larger extension that's here. And so I just picked up a few of these and just kind of verified that they were all SK. And all of these are SK except for the doggone breaker bar. And so notice that it's made in Japan. And so, I mean, it's pretty nice. It's really nice. There's nothing wrong with it. Man, this knurling on here is just beautiful, but it doesn't match. So my $10 investment went down the hill with that. Now, do I think I'll find another breaker bar or another ratchet that goes in here? You know, I actually have another SK, but it's an SK Wayne, so I couldn't put it in here because I want to try to make a matching set that way. But anyways, one of these days I'll find that matching one and throw it in there. So it'll make a matching set, but I didn't quite get it. And so that's the reason why I say take your time. And so probably, you know, one of the things you can do is just, hey, that's a good box. But before you check out, make sure it's everything that you want. So I feel like, I don't know, I'm on the fence. Would I paid for it or not paid for it? I mean, it's still cool, but I didn't get what I wanted, right? And so that was an example of make sure you check out everything that you want to get there. Now, another one, a different one sale, and I went to quite a few yesterday, my wife and I. But you'll notice what I got here is I got an old breaker bar that's a Plum. So a WF20 Plum that's here. Now this guy painted this red, which is kind of cool actually. But anyways, so it's an old Plum, and so I love those. So another one. Now you've been kind of watching my channel a little bit. You see that we find these Plums here and there as we go back and forth. In fact, I found another Plum wrench that was $1. This one here, incidentally, was $2. I figured, man, I can clean that up and throw that in the collection, and that'll clean up real nice. So there we go. So we got a Plum for $2. From there, so we got an old Flying V, and so it's a breaker bar as well, 3/8 inch. So that one is pristine condition. You know, I learned my lesson on missing that breaker bar. I walked over so many of these that I just didn't do it. Did I pay up $5? Yeah, crazy, isn't it? But anyways, that's the most I ever pay for these. It seems like $5, $8, something like that. But anyway, so I paid up $5 in case I run across another box that I can just throw in the collection that way. And so, because right now I'm on the hunt for that 1/2 inch breaker bar that's missing on that other box. But anyway, so we got that one as well. Get this, look what I picked up for a few bucks at a different estate sale. This one says Mustang. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't have a Mustang in my collection. And so as we go through and we look at it, it works in both directions, I believe. Yeah. So does it need to be cleaned up? 100%. It needs to be cleaned up. But look how nice that is. It's beautiful, isn't it? And so now this one here is has some rust, but man, there's hardly anything wrong with it. I think that'll be easily cleaned up that way. So I can't wait to kind of just give it a bath and kind of clean it up and not really do anything to it. Now you'll notice the little marks here, the casting marks. That's there. Now, I did just a tiny little bit of research, and this was made by New Britain, and it was from the 1950s. So this one is a US, it looks like US 43, and so, or MS 43. I can't quite read that. And so we'll go through and clean it up, but I'm not going to do anything with those casting marks. I'm going to leave it just as is. So just a minimal cleanup. But again, I don't have a Mustang. I don't have one of those. I've never seen one of those. So, man, I'm excited to add that to the collection. And so, you know, for me, like I said, I like them all. In fact, this one, the reason why I'm going to leave it is because when I was doing that research, it was saying that New Britain made this as a econo line or economical line of ratchets. And so, you know, and I think that's just proper. You know, they didn't take the time to do all the detail work on it. They just were pushing them out just so people could afford them. I love that. And so there we go. So I'm going to add that to the collection, a couple bucks worth right there. You know me and old ratchets. And so now this is a ratcheting screwdriver. But notice that it says Craftsman on it. I don't know if you can read that or not. But it says Craftsman right there. And so it flips back and forth, and you can do these now. You know, are these really useful these days? No, but it's a number 4116. Well, I say no. I mean, some people do use them. I don't personally, but I like the fact that it's ratcheting. So there's that. And then while they were there, had an old Yankee one that was sitting side by side with it, Stanley Yankee. And so, man, I love that. And so over here, it's a number 3400. And so, you know, how often do you get them in that shape, that old, an old Yankee that way? So I love that. So anyways, so that's another great find. So put those in my little small collection because I do have a little bit of a collection of those there. All right. Now, we have a few more to go. So let's bust open into this box right over here. Now, remember some of my other videos, when we cover it up, what do you think this is? It's red. I know it says $6, but I caught it on the 50% off day. So I paid $3 for this. And so obviously it's a little toolkit, but check that out. It's a Kmart. It's a Kmart auto toolkit. And so for $3, I thought, you know what? I collect some Kmart stuff as of late because remember we ran across those Kmart wrenches lately? Look at the inside of that. It still has the branding inside, that nice little sticker. And so it's not perfect, but it's still very readable that way. Sorry about that, bumped the camera. And so it's still very readable that way. So isn't that beautiful? And it's complete. And so I haven't done anything with it. Go through and clean this up. But my goodness, that's going to be a nice add-on into the collection. For $3, how can you go wrong for $3, right? And so now just to make sure, I don't know if I even checked that it worked or not. Yep, perfect. Works that way. Flip it back the other way. Yep. Perfect. And so clean this bad boy up for $3. Oh yeah, I'll add that to my collection every single day of the week. Now probably nobody collects Kmart, but that's all right. And so it makes me happy. And so, but check out this one. This one 50% off. It had $8, so I got it for $4. But here's the big question: Stuprumate. And so, am I even saying that right? Stuprumate. Stuprumate, something like that. Have you ever heard of that brand? Now, I texted a picture to another guy, and you know, he big tool guy, and I asked him. I said, you ever heard of that?" And here's what's interesting about this: he's never heard of it, and my goodness, he's been around tools a long, long time. Now, not only that, so you know, we kind of figure it's just some kind of like Walmart off the shelf toolkit. Totally agree, 100%. It probably was in some kind of auto store or something like that. But here's what's interesting. I Googled it. And when I Googled it, 0 results came back, or at least on my phone. And I came home and I did the exact same thing. And I put in this word with tools and just that word, and Google says 0 results match your term. What? Who is this guy? Who is this? Now you look at it, on the inside, man, we still got that little foil sticker that's there. It still looks really good. It's not perfect again, but we got a complete set here, along with some little Allen wrenches. And, we even got the little finger, see if I can put this right on top here. We even got this little finger dial here that you can go through and use to turn back and forth. And it works perfectly. And so, for $4, but, a lot of people would go through, oh, and get this. And so this one here, how often do you find these little finger dials? In fact, I can't even get it out. It doesn't seem like, but these little finger dials that are there. I mean, oftentimes these things are missing out of these little kits. And so not only do you have one up there, but you also have one down here that you can do as well. And so, my goodness. But here's the question. Who made this? What's the history on this? I want to know. I'm just killing me inside. I want to know who made this. Where was it sold at? So do you friends know that? Have you ever heard of this? Do you have a set? And if you have a set, my goodness, please educate us. We would love that. We would love to know more about this because Google doesn't have anything that it can tell me, at least on my computer or my mobile device. And so I would like to learn more about that. So for me, a $4 find that Google can't find anything on? Heck yeah. I think I came out ahead. If Google can't find it, I must have something. I may have a piece of junk, but I have something anyways. So anyways, that's kind of what we have so far. I got one little bundle, and so I'll show you what it is all together here. So as we were going through, was at this other estate sale. Now I got this, incidentally, along with this for $14. Now, I'll show you what this is here, and then we'll jump into the other one. Now, this is an old Sears. So as you can see, it says Sears on here. Now, Sears isn't in business anymore, so I kind of like collecting these department store stuff just because it's just kind of neat that, we still can find some of these around. And so it has this old hex ratchet here, so you can turn back and forth. And it has all kinds of different things that are in it. But what I liked about it was that it's still in its original package. And the package is pretty decent that way. And so you can see that this says Sears on it as well. Old hex bit, so for the smaller sockets that we're getting ready to show you. And then you have this little piece here that can go on there. Now this forget the name of that, but anyways, as we go through, this will go on here and click on. And then as you get going, and so this can kind of serve as a flathead, or you can also flip it the other way, and then you can put your sockets on it, right? And so there's that. Now the sockets, when I pulled those out, because I almost didn't get it, I thought, I don't know, do I need it? Do I not need it? Well, I don't need anything. But as we went through, look how pristine those are. Man, they're beautiful. I mean, the box is in beautiful shape as well. I mean, look how clean that is. And so, I was just going to get the rest of the box for $9. She said, you know what, just give me $5 for it and you can have it. And I thought, okay, I'll throw it in there. So, but anyway, so that's what I did. My OCD in here, I got to get the sockets in the right direction. I may be missing one. I don't know if I am or not. It looks like I may be. But anyways, so that's what I got. So part of this was $14 was for the whole thing. In fact, I'll put this together in just a moment. So just for doing it off camera. So I'll take all of this and put it right back over here. I'll put it back in its original package. So I thought that was kind of cool. And so that's kind of neat. Now, as we get going, here's the rest of what I received here. And so this was an old Stanley. And so, and it's called a hexagonatic. And so as you can see here, you can grab on to different things and then you can turn it. So it's an adjustable driver here. And so you can go through and really kind of latch on to about any size bolt that fits up to that size. And then you can do that. So I thought that was kind of neat. I don't have one of those. So I thought I'd put that there. Also, before we get into some of these other ones, let me pull out these wrenches. Now, you may have remembered that I had a fleet socket, and then I said I had some other fleet. I have some fleet ratchets and some fleet, yeah, some different size fleets, ratchets, and sockets that way. And so I happened to find the matching set that went along with that era in fleet. Now they're kind of a little bit of surface rust on here, but really the chroming and the plating is still really good. I think I can throw this in evaporust and it will clean right up like brand new. So notice what we have on this side. So double open-ended, 3/4 and 5/8. So there's one. This one here is 11/16, 9/32. Then the next size down is 9/16 and a half. So that's another one. Then this one 7/16, 3/8. And then this one here is looks like can't quite read it. I want to say 7/16, but I don't think that's correct. So whatever that is there, plus another quarter on this side. It says something 16ths. I just can't quite read that. But anyway, so I got 5 of them all together there. And so I thought, man, that's going to be pretty neat. Now, so far we have 5. We have this part right here, right? And then all the little pieces, but we'll just count that as one. So we got 5, 6 pieces. This is, and you know what was neat? Remember I told you about, you know, some of the tool community you get in with some of those guys, they can treat you right. So that gentleman named Kevin, man, he just, in fact, my wife was there and he recognized my wife and he pulled up a whole bucket and he said, hey, why don't you go give this to your husband? He needs to come and look at these. And so this is where a lot of this came from. And so while I was searching in the garage, he was downstairs in the basement, but he was looking out for me. Man, how beautiful is that? Thank you, Kevin. I really appreciate you for that. But anyways, this one here is Sears. And so we have some old pliers here with the little cutters on them. And so this is a 3074. So that's another nice add to the Sears collection. So we'll put that there. So we had I found this, I just threw it in the box because I figured, man, there's no prices on this. I'm just going to fill me a little box here and kind of see what kind of bundle deal I can do. So it's an old Craftsman. And you know what I'd like to do with these? Polish them all up or maybe even kind of give them a nice little accented paint job inside all of these engraved areas. So I can't wait to do that. And notice it has that little bit of knurling right up here on the handle back and forth. And so, man, I have a few of these. We'll have to bust those out one of these days. And then this one here, get this. I don't know if you can read it or not, but it's Western Auto. And so I thought, man, that's kind of cool. I have a Western Auto toolbox, a little carrying toolbox that says Western Auto. I want to put that right inside that little box after I get this all cleaned up. So how cool is that? So, I mean, I don't run across those either. Then from there, you know, another great find that I found, check this out. When do you ever find these? You know how you have these little kits and it has these little finger dials on them, right? The turn wheels, finger wheels. And so this one is a Craftsman. It's a V. I don't know if it's a single line V or exactly what it goes to, but it's 3/8 inch drive. Man, that is original and it's still there because most of the time, any kit I've ever seen, it's always missing this. Have you found that to be true? And so I thought, man, that is cool. And so that's I'm gonna put that inside my box as well. Now from there, check this out. So you'll notice that this is a flying V, and it's an extension that's on here. So that's not abnormal, right? We see these around pretty often. So that's a 6-inch. But as we look at these sockets that the gentleman had on here, so we can see with that pointed A, we see the knurling, see how it kind of goes off at an angle like that. So that gentleman was educating me. This is during a transition period out of the old BE, the Circle H, Circle U, before they got into the V's. This was a transition period for their logo. And so, man, and that's something I do not have. I do not have any of the transition period sockets. I hope I'm saying that right for the sake of the education he was trying to give me here. But here's another one here. So this one here is a 7/16, and this one here was a 9/16. So we got 2 of those. And then I happened to find one more that was inside that bucket, maybe 2 more, it looks like. So this one here for the transition. So as we get to looking at that, let's see here. See, we move the light over here just a little bit better. And so this was a 1/2 inch, I think it is. And so we have that there. And then this one here, if I can read it. I can't read it. It might be like a 3/8 or something like that. So as we go through and line these up, so I have 4. Man, they're kind of in a row, so that's cool as all get out. And then check this out. The matching extension bar. Now this one here is probably like the 10 or 12 inch. It's probably looks like 12 inches. In fact, I got a tape measure here. Let's measure it out. Let's see what we have here. So as we go through, it's 11 inch. So I was wrong. So we have an 11 inch extension here with that matching transition logo that's there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So we have that. There was another one that was in there. Let's see here. So this is a flying V, as you can see there. So there's 2 little lines right before the V. So we have that little extension there, 1/4 inch, by the way. So that was in the box. And then check this out. So this is a flying V as well, but it has this little flathead screw that unscrews, and you can change out these little hex bits. And so this one just happened to be screwed into it that way. So how cool is that? Again, it's that flying V. So that's another nice add. So we have another extension it looks like on here. Oh, actually, this is something different. So before I get into that, let's see here. Another Craftsman. And so there's a Craftsman there, flying V. Again, this one here, you can unscrew that little hex bolt right there and change out these little tips. So that was kind of cool for a Phillips head. And then, do I have any more Craftsman in here? Yeah, one more Craftsman. And so flying V again. This is 1/4 inch deep well. And so how cool is that? So all these little pieces, they start making up all these sets, right? All right, so that's what I got for the Craftsman side of things. Now, the rest of what's in here, incidentally, is all JCPenney. Now, the reason why I picked these up is because, well, you know me and department store stuff, and so the JCPenney is cool as all get out. A little bit of surface rust in there, and so USA, so that's when they used to make them here, or actually they don't even make this anymore. But anyways, USA, now this one's a 7/8, and so I don't know if we can get it in the camera. We'll try to line it up this way, 7/8. This is also 7/8, but notice the difference in depth here. So little shallow, and then mid-depth, that's there. And then our next size up, it looks like here is 5/8. So that's going to match that one there. See if I can get them in order here. And then this one here is a 1/2 inch, JCPenney. And the reason why I picked these up is because, well, they're just kind of neat. I kind of fill some gaps. But I also know somebody who's probably looking for some of these. And incidentally, those were 12 point. This is a 6 point that's here. So that's different. So we have the that part that goes, my light just died. Sorry about that. So the part that goes from the 3/8 to an adapter, 3/8 to 1/4 inch adapter. Let's see if I can plug this in. Give me just one moment here. I should have been on the ball with that. So I'm going to do it live right here. There we go. We got our light back. We're back in business. All right. And so as we get going, we see that we have another one here that's going to be 3/8 inch JCPenney. So that's another 6 point. In fact, we'll start lining up the 6 points down here. And then let's see what we have as far as sets are concerned. So we have another one here, 7/16. So we'll put that on that side. Another one here, 6 point, 5/16. So we'll put that over here on this side. And then this is 9/32 that we have here. And so we'll put that over here. And then as we get going, 3/8, 6 point. My goodness, look at this 1/4 inch stuff growing on us. And so 7/32. And so we'll kind of trade spots, put that in order there. And then we got 2 more. And so as we got going, oh, you know what? I forgot one more Craftsman. I should have put it with the other one. But this one here is actually just a single line V. Sorry about my lighting. You probably can't see that as good as we had it at one point. But it's a single line V. It's a swivel socket. And so this one here is size 1/2 inch. And so that one, actually, look at that. It's just beautiful. I don't know if this guy ever used this one. It's just perfect condition that way. But anyway, so that's added onto the Craftsman side, and we have one more. Check that out. Oftentimes you can find the sockets, but sometimes finding these little extensions, these little 1/4 inch extensions, or any of the extensions for JCPenney, it makes it a little harder. So there we go. That's what we have. So as we can see, we got all kinds of different goodies. Get this one out of the way. And so that's what our haul was yesterday. I didn't find anything big, but I did find, I think, some pretty unique stuff. All right, think about that. Think about which one is your favorite, and then I'll be right back. All right, friends. Well, there you have it. So what's your favorite out of everything? Did you hear that? Did you hear that sound? Well, you know what I forgot? I forgot earlier in the week I bid on an auction, and it was just a single item actually, but check out what I got for $10. And so I found a snap-on 1/2 inch. In this particular one, incidentally, is a 71 MV, I believe it is. Yeah, MV snap-on ratchet. Now, remember, I'm kind of a sucker for these old flat handle ratchets. Oh, I found another one, and I just couldn't resist. It's for $10. How could you not get that for $10? And so actually it's in really nice condition here. It's kind of dinged a little bit here and there, but overall it's pretty nice. So that was another find for the last week. I forgot to bring it out during the deal. But anyways, you can still see the sticker from the auction that way. But anyways, so that was $10. So have you had a chance to think about it? What was your favorite? There's a lot of different ones in there. In fact, for me, goodness, this is a hard one because that transition sockets for the Craftsman that gentleman Kevin that he turned my wife onto. So thank you again for that. And so that was super awesome. I don't have that transition period. It seems like I have the older stuff, and then I have a little bit of the newer stuff. But I don't have that one. I don't believe. I have to go back through. But anyways, so that's kind of a hard one. JCPenney is always a delight to find in this area. And so I love that. That Plum, $2. How could you go wrong with the Plum for $2, right? I forgot to bring out the wrench. I did find a wrench for $1, just a smooth Plum wrench without the pebble insert in it. So that was another good find. But remember the Craftsman set for the drill bits? Wow. To me, I think I struck gold on that one. That was pretty good. So for every single bit to be there and that box to be in that kind of condition, that's pretty golden, I think. All right, and then the Kmart box, and then remember, what was the other one? That little green box, the one that Google couldn't find or tell me anything about it. Maybe Google can tell you something in your market. Maybe it's just Kansas. It's like, well, I don't have anything for you in Kansas. I don't know. And so maybe it's something like that. I think for me, Strupumate, that box, even though it was $4, the fact that I can't find any history on that, I think today that's going to take my vote. How's that? I bypass all these Sears and all these other stuff that we found there, the old Craftsman and such like that, just because it's an unknown. I don't know nothing about it. I want to know. So friends, if you can find that for me, please put that in the comments below. Also put what you think is your favorite, because that's also kind of shapes my thinking a little bit. It kind of makes me think, okay, what do I need to get out there and keep a better eye out for? Maybe I'm wandering too far off in La La Land over here with this Strupumate scenarios and such like that. So again, thank you so much for visiting and watching Jesse's Garage. If you hadn't already, if this is your first time, please hit subscribe. And if you've been here a while, hopefully you enjoyed the video enough where you can give it a like and go from there. So thank you so much for watching Jesse's Garage, and we'll see you on the next one.